The brand new Nest Pi Raspberry Pi 4 case is here with improved heatsink SSD cartridge, and looks so good. So let's go ahead and unbox it, set it up, and show you my thoughts. So this will all start out with you being giddy like a little boy on Christmas and really excited to open up your new Nest Pi case. Packaging is beautiful. It's definitely something that I'm going to leave on my shelf behind me as a good prop, and A+ on the packaging. You'll have an instruction manual, a plug. Look at this plug. It is quite well shaped, especially if you're going to be putting in a bar top. Small little detail, big effort. Here is the case, all brand new. Haven't even opened it up yet. It does come unscrewed, so it should just crack right open. You don't have to unscrew anything. But as you see, lots of detail here. Ventilation on the bottom, not the top. And we'll get opening it here in just a second. But a lot of detail in this case. Micro SD slot down on the bottom to hold 2, 3, 4 micro SD cards, but this one is 2.5-inch hard drive ready. So whether you put an SSD or a spinning hard drive in here, you can connect that to your Pi via USB. A quick note on that, I'm not going to be doing that in this video. I prefer the micro SD, but with the latest firmware update on your Raspberry Pi, again, you do have to update your firmware in order to boot directly off of a hard drive through USB currently. So you open it up, you have this little cartridge here. It comes unscrewed. There is 2 screws in the accessories bag to get it to stay, but it should just crack right open. It's not a lot of detail. It has everything that the Nintendo cartridge had. Originally, it has all those little details like the little fins and the sticker, everything else. I really like that they included this little message here. Please remove your SD card, because I've seen people crack those SD cards, and it is a sad day. As far as installation, put on your heatsink pads first. Go ahead and hook up the 2 USBs into the Pi. It tells you which ports on the instruction manual, but port 3 and port 1, I believe, or 2. You can see from what I'm looking at here. Then I'm going to plug in my LAN connector here. Now that I have the LAN in and it's snug in place, I added my GPIO pins. It's very easy. They even have a little sticker there. It's kind of hanging up to tell you how to orient your GPIO connections. And then as far as this little heatsink fan, the power cable goes out to the right here, so it's very easy to orient. And you have just 2 screws that you want to screw on the right side here, and then plug in the power into that little spot right there on the bottom of the case. Now I'm just screwing in the 2 screws, one on the upper right of the heatsink, one on the lower left or right of the heatsink. Now that's in place. Now the top, you actually could skip this step if you're not going to be using a solid state hard drive, but that goes into that USB 3.0 slot. Now here comes my customization. I am going to be putting this piece of tape on here and painting my cartridge gold because I want my custom Nest Pi case gold. Spray painting, gold. So you can absolutely add a solid state hard drive. I'm not going to actually go and install it on this particular machine. I'm still going to go the micro SD route, but do note that this does fit. You just need a solid state USB 3.0 hard drive or a SATA drive, and it should work. This would be on the top. This would be on the bottom. I think that turned out pretty good. With no primer, no sanding, just using a 2-in-1 spray, and you can still see the top there. You should then be able to stick this in. So that's now in there. You can shut it. We got it up to 51 degrees. It's actually really hot, but it's so hot. It is a very hot day today. So I'm glad we actually got it up that hot. It's still plenty good though. So as far as cooling potential, I'd definitely give this one an A. It's not the best out there, but it's plenty good and can easily handle an overclock. If you do want to install this script to do the safe shutdown, make sure your switch is set to on, connect it to the internet, hook up a keyboard to the USB port, press F4 on the keyboard when you're in emulation station. It'll bring you to a terminal. Just go ahead and write this. Yes, it's case sensitive, so make sure you have all the capitals and the lower cases correctly. And go ahead and copy all this. This little icon right here can be found if you hold, you may or may not have to hold shift, but right above your enter key. And then this is a O, not a 0. So anyways, that just about does it for this video. I have a beautiful Nest Pi case with a custom gold cartridge. Although I'm not running it with the SSD, I can easily run it. Honestly, I like the little cart here that I can pull it in and out. Like, that's pretty cool. Also, while I'm scrolling, I'm not crashing my system. In case my kid comes along and like, ooh, what's this? No, but you can obviously close that up once the hard drive's in there and you stick it all the way in. Little caveat on the paint, it was a little hard to stick it in and out just with that little bit of extra paint. So keep that in mind, that it's a very tight fit. Overall, amazing case. If you can scoop these up for $40 or less, amazing case. You get the heat sink, you get the SSD holder, the cartridge, you get the USB 3.0, the relocation of all the ports, the safe shutdown switch, along with many other advantages, and then the looks, right? That's the number one thing with this case, is the looks. It looks fantastic. It's slightly bigger than the other one, which a lot of people wanted. They wanted a little bigger of a mini system. It was a little too mini before. Bigger is better a lot of the time. And so A+ all the way around. I knew I wouldn't be disappointed with this. They've been in the case game now for a while. There'd be no reason for them to take shortcuts on this one or miss out on some things. I mean, was it worth the wait? Yes and no. I'm still giving them a hard time about that. Like, I don't think anything about this case was necessarily revolutionary. It was definitely a welcomed upgrade and a significant upgrade. But I mean, I forget the timeline now. Over a year ago. It took them over a year to make the case. Now, obviously, there was a pandemic and all these other things. So, anyways, I'm not gonna, rag on them. They did a really good job, and I highly recommend the case. So that's what I think. Let me know what y'all think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.